Guys, Erin here, back with another moon update for you. We are having a new moon solar eclipse coming up this Thursday, June 10th at 3:52 a.m. Pacific time. So new moons are a time for new beginnings. It's a really good idea to pull out our journals the night before the new moon and write down what it is we're trying to manifest as if it's already happened, and write it with gratitude. Now, this energy is always going to be specified by the sign in which the moon is transiting through. This new moon takes place at 19 degrees Gemini. Gemini is such a wonderful energy. It is a mutable air sign, meaning that that mutable energy is very adaptable. In fact, we're being influenced with a lot of mutable energies right now. It's wonderful because there's all these new things going on in the world, and it gives us the ability to adapt into them with a little more ease and grace. But it also, if we set our goals, there's a tendency to get sidetracked with all this mutable energy. So it's one thing to be mindful of. The air energy, the air signs are associated with intellect. Gemini is a highly intellectual energy. Maybe you want to set intentions to, heighten your intellect even more so. Now, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the messenger of the gods. That said, Gemini is the sign of communication and sharing information. Maybe you want to start a new blog. Also, maybe you want to author a book. This is a time to set the intentions for that. And this energy really unfolds over the next 6 months until we have a full moon in the sign of Gemini. Now, going back to that communication, so Gemini is very much associated with social media, and there's all these new social media sites popping up. One of my favorites is Telegram. There's MeWe, Gab, Parler, there's Library, Odyssey, BitChute. I highly encourage any of you who are trying to, express yourself and get your message out there, get on these new platforms. The algorithms are a lot more natural, and it seems to be, you've just got a better chance of really getting your message heard by the people you want them to hear it from. Okay, so now let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and show you what is going on with this new moon solar eclipse. Okay, so first of all, I work with geocentric Western astrology. I love all forms of astrology, but geocentric Western astrology is definitely what I resonate with most. That puts Earth right here, right in the center. And these are all the celestial bodies around Earth. That's where they will be on June 10th, 2021 at 3:52 a.m. Pacific time. Now, real quick, I need to mention here, we all experience this as a collective. Everyone on Earth is having a new moon in Gemini and can manifest new beginnings that have to do with communication. It also has to do with siblings, by the way. If you want to manifest new beginnings, some sort of new beginnings with siblings, this is also the time for that. But this, again, we all experience this as a collective, but it's also very unique to each one of us. And this very much depends on which house in your natal chart the sign of Gemini lands. Maybe it's in your house of career and it's time to get more, communicate more at work or say what it is you need to say. Maybe it's in your 12th house, your house of karma, and this is a super karmic journey for you right now. Maybe it's in your house of relationships and it's time to manifest maybe better communication skills with your partner, that sort of thing. There's so many different areas of your life and little connections that could be being made with other celestial bodies in your own natal chart. So I do offer quick 10-minute moon readings for just $22 to help you figure out, how to finely tune what it is you're trying to bring into fruition. I offer all sorts of different packages of readings on my website. Just go to erinwageastrology.com, or you can just send me an email at erinwageastrology@gmail.com. Okay, so now back to this. What we're going to focus on are these guys right here. This right here is the sun. This right here is the moon. Okay, now this is what happens when we have a new moon. The sun and the moon join together at the exact same degree in the same sign of the zodiac. The moon is the mother of the heavens. The sun is the father. Now, when they come together for any new moon, it's like they are coming together to create an energetic baby for new growth that will grow over the next 6 months. That's why it's always a new time for new beginnings with a new moon. Now, this new moon is kind of extra special because right here, what we have is Mercury, which is, again, Gemini's ruler. That's not a very common thing for us to have the ruler be conjunct with the new moon. So, again, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. This new moon does have a lot to do with communication. However, this is something I need to point out. Mercury is going to be in retrograde till June 22nd. Now, I see all these memes and posts about how Mercury retrograde is like devastating for some people. Really, Mercury retrograde can be utilized for beneficial things. It's a time to reevaluate or rethink what it is you're going to express, what it is you're going to put out there. Maybe you have been working on a book. Well, Mercury's in retrograde till June 22nd. That's a really good time to reevaluate the information or whatever it is you're trying to put out there. Rethink it. Make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and that sort of thing till June 22nd. Okay, now the eclipse, that is a result of this guy right here. This is Rahu, or otherwise known as the North Node, also in Gemini, 10 degrees Gemini. This is what creates an eclipse. It's either the North or the South Node that is going to be conjunct or near the sun and the moon, or one or the other, something like that. The Rahu and also Ketu, the South Node is also Ketu. Rahu and Ketu, they are the reasons that we have eclipses, okay? And the Rahu is the dragon's head. Ketu is the dragon's tail. This is dragon energy. And we are in eclipse season. We are experiencing dragon energy, which could go either way. And really, let me just break this down for you. This dragon energy can kind of suck us into kind of unwanted energies, behaviors that do not serve us, or like addictive behaviors, or even just any negative energies. While we're in that dragon energy, we're susceptible to that. And the way to avoid any of those negative energies is to stay consistently focused on what it is you're trying to achieve. Stay consistently focused on your goals with optimism and with gratitude. That's the way to avoid the dangers of eclipse energy. In fact, anytime that we have any eclipse, new or solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, no matter what kind of eclipse it is, I actually try to avoid being fully exposed to the heavenly energies, fully exposed to that dragon energy. I try to stay indoors a little bit more. I'm somebody who loves to harvest my own spring water. I don't harvest spring water in days surrounding an eclipse. Okay. I like to keep myself protected. Generally speaking, when I have my moon rituals, I'm outside with my feet on the ground and, surrounded by stones, and maybe even sometimes having a bonfire and that sort of thing, but not when there's an eclipse. I stay inside, and I also stay internal in here, inside here. Now, another thing I'm going to point out with this new moon is this guy right here. This is called a square. This is a connection that will be being made between the new moon and this right here is Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is another mutable energy, another adaptable energy, but it's quite different than Gemini. Gemini can be up in the head, up in the mind. Neptune in Pisces is a very spiritual energy. It's a very intuitive energy. This square right here, this connection that's being made, can actually create a little bit of a blockage. If you're feeling any sort of a blockage, with what it is you're trying to express or that sort of thing, it's a really good idea to tap into your intuition. Utilize this Neptune and Pisces energy. Use this spiritual energy, and also like to stay in the flow, and just kind of stay groovy a little bit, that sort of thing. That's one thing to really focus on if you're feeling any sort of a blockage around this new moon solar eclipse. Okay, so let's see here. Some other things I wanted to mention. I keep talking about staying protected and staying grounded and that sort of thing. For those of you who see my videos, you're probably sick of seeing this guy, but this is just my old reliable here. This is black tourmaline. This is the most protective stone I own. And honestly, I do feel like black tourmaline is, generally speaking, the most protective gemstone that we can have. This one, I always am going to keep near me in eclipse season, or, days surrounding an eclipse, especially for my moon rituals. This is protecting me from the unwanted energies. But that said, I also want to use an amplifier. This is clear crystal quartz, which is going to amplify everything. It's going to make sure that my prayers are heard. So I always use both. But I also always love to use stones that resonate well with the sign the moon is transiting through. So the zodiacal birthstone for the sign of Gemini is agate. Now, agate comes in so many different colors and shapes and forms and everything like that. I'll just show you some that I've got here. This is a moon pendant, actually, of agate. And then I've got another little pendant right here. You can see how different they are. This is super dark brown. This is super light brown. Both resonate very, very well with the Gemini energy. Agate, you'll also see it come in this sort of a form a lot. This is another really good, I actually like to put this underneath my pillow sometimes when I'm going to sleep. Agate is really good for keeping the nervous system in check, keeping us calm, that sort of thing. Here's another little piece right here. I should share this. This is my agate goblet that I like to use when I'm having a Gemini moon ritual. Let's see here now. And also you don't need agate. There's an abundance of different stones that resonate well with the Gemini energy. And I will leave that list. I will leave an extensive list in the description of this video or in the comment section. It just depends on where you're watching this at. Just look around for texts and you will see an extensive list of Gemini stones. Okay, now going back to that anxiousness that can come with that Gemini energy or nervousness. Gemini also, it rules several different things. It rules the nervous system. People with a lot of Gemini in their natal chart, they can have this tendency to be have a nervousness or anxiety and that sort of thing. So a couple of my favorite things to really help with that. Well, first of all, actually, let's start with something that's absolutely free, something called tapping. I strongly recommend looking into the exercise of tapping. It's basically just different parts of your body, just depends on what it is you're trying to do. Just do any sort of internet search for the benefits of tapping. That's a really good one for anxiety. But some of the things I'm going to share here, this right here, it's a little package and it's called the Superhero Protection Shield. And this is the best thing I've ever used for nervous system. What it is, it's this little packet of 3 different flower essences. One of them is the nerve purifier, there's a nerve relaxer, and a savior. This is flower essences from Iceland. I will also leave a link on where to find that stuff because it has blown my mind how wonderful that stuff is. Now, Gemini also rules the lungs. I like to pay a little extra attention to the part of my body, you know, that again is ruled by the sign the moon is transiting through. So some things I've got here, I actually just harvested this from up in Northern California. This is called mullein, and it's like a fuzzy leaf. You don't have to harvest your own, you can just buy it. I actually smoke it and it pulls stuff out of your lungs. Mullein is a really, really good herb to have around for anybody with lung issues. Now, another thing that's really good for lungs, this right here, I've got it in a powder form to make teas. I've also got it in a tincture. This is called Elecampane. And let me tell you something, this stuff for lungs, I have an emotional attachment to this stuff. When my mother was in her final days here, she really had a hard time breathing with her lungs. She had a lot of stuff, you know, caught up in her lungs. And I would make her, sometimes I'd make her the tea. Sometimes I would just give her a little tincture, just depending on what was going on. And almost immediately it helped tremendously. Elecampane is really, really good stuff if you're somebody who's dealing with lung issues. And also, if you're in the Santa Cruz area, Santa Cruz, California, I do strongly recommend checking out this store where I got this stuff from. It's called Go Ask Alice. And they've got all kinds of super high quality organic herbs and all kinds of other fun stuff. A really cool shop to go check out, especially if you're looking for good high quality herbs. Okay, so I just went on and on and on. I think I will leave it at that. I do hope to hear from some of you. Like I said, I offer all different types of readings on my website. You can just visit my website, erinwageastrology.com, or just email me at erinwageastrology@gmail.com. Again, I will leave links to, you know, find me on other websites, other platforms and all kinds of stuff. Just look in the description or the comment section. Again, just depends on where you're seeing this recording. Okay, you guys, until next time, namaste to all of you.